Yo, what's up everyone? Today I'm gonna do a Stat CC's video to just explain what I put on my college application that got me into the colleges that I got into. And here on the screen, you'll see a list of the colleges I got into. And I applied as a CS major for all of the colleges. So for context, I went to a small and private high school in the Bay Area. And generally, many people in my school tend to take a lot of APs throughout all 4 years, and there are a certain amount that are required. I believe it's 5. You need 5 or 6 APs to graduate. So I'm just gonna be going over the classes I took each year. So in freshman year, I took AP Computer Science A, AP Physics 1, AP US Government and Politics, Honors English Language and Composition, Honors English Literature and Composition, and Latin 3, and also Pre-Calculus B. That was freshman year. In my sophomore year, I took AP Calculus AB, AP Computer Science Principles, AP Physics 2, AP US History, Honors Chemistry, Honors English 10, Latin 4, and I fulfilled my physical education credit from badminton. In my junior year, I took AP English Language and Composition, AP Environmental Science, AP Statistics, AP World History Modern, Honors Biology, Intro to Photography, and Latin 5. In junior year, I also self-studied the AP Calc BC test because I took AP Calc AB the year before, so it was quite easy. Now, in senior year, I took AP Physics C Mechanics plus Electricity and Magnetism. It's just one class. I took Author Study, which is a capstone class. I took Complex Analysis, which is also a capstone class in our school. I took Data Structures and Algorithms, which is a capstone class. And I took Linear Algebra, which is also a capstone class. So these capstone classes are sort of college level classes, but we take them at our high school. And they don't go over like all the material. They're not as rigorous, but they're sort of an insight into what a college class would be like. And I also did college counseling, where our school counselors sort of helped us apply to colleges. Yeah, most of the time we had work periods, but sometimes it was educational sessions. But yeah, it was a free grade. And my school also does this interesting thing where the first 2 trimesters, so we run a trimester system. The first 2 trimesters of our senior year, we have classes, but then in the last trimester, our capstone classes end, and we spend the whole time working on a research project called the senior project. So I did that as well. As for my grades, I had all A's, but I had an A- in honors chemistry back in sophomore year. And I had an A- in AP Physics C this year for my trimester 1 grades, which were sent to some colleges. For my AP exam scores, I got 5s on everything except AP US History and AP Lang, AP English Language and Composition. I got 4s on both of those, and I got 5s on everything else. My unweighted GPA was a 3.98. My weighted GPA was a 4.79. But do note, our school has like crazy grade inflation. Like, if you get a 5 on an AP exam, your school grade can literally change from a C to an A, or like I think it's a D to an A2. So the AP exam curve gives you a huge boost, which made it quite easy, and that made many people in my grade have quite high GPAs. Okay, now I'm going to be going over the activities I did that helped me get into college. So let's start off. So the first activity I did was the research program. I'm going to bring my computer here so I can just see my activities. So the first activity I did was an online research program called Algoverse AI. So this program was pretty much one of the most vital parts to my application. And it was the first activity I put in all of my applications. So my UC app, my MIT application, and the Common App. My first two awards and honors actually came from this activity, which you will see when I go over my awards and honors. And it truly was one of the most impactful activities of my application. So yeah, essentially, in this online program, I was placed into a research group with some other pretty highly motivated high schoolers. And we worked on a novel research project involving medical bias in large language models. So we had very involved mentorship from PhD level researchers in the field, and they helped our paper get published in some pretty big conferences. Our paper was accepted to NeurIPS and EMNLP, which are the top AI and NLP conferences. So yeah, I definitely would truly recommend this research program compared to others, even most of the others I mentioned in this video. I would definitely recommend you do this one, especially since research is hard to find, novel research is hard to find, and like poor research, fake research can sometimes be considered as a red flag. This program really does allow you to produce some novel research that will benefit your application. So that was my first activity. On to my second. So my second activity was competitive badminton. So I've been playing badminton for, I think since I was 8. So like 9-10 years at this point. And yeah, so I've been playing for a long time, been training maybe 10 to 12 hours a week, but badminton's not a recruitable sport. So it's just like a normal activity. I wasn't recruited anywhere. So in boys singles under 17, my highest national ranking was 6. In boys singles under 19, my highest national ranking was 7. And I placed 5th in boys doubles under 15 at junior nationals and 8th in boys doubles under 17 at the junior international trials. Those were my main accomplishments from badminton. And as you will see later, it tied into other parts of my application pretty well. So my next activity was MIT's Beaverworks Summer Institute. And I was specifically in the remote sensing for disaster response section. So in the program, this is also a pretty good program. I would definitely recommend people applying to it. But in the program, we essentially learned to apply data science to remote sensing for disaster response. And disaster response is like a really valuable real world place where you can use your tech skills to make a real world impact. And I talked about disaster response in many of my essays. So in the program, we learned to apply GIS for hurricane crop analysis. We developed convolutional neural networks for disaster image classification. And we also had a final project where it was a simulated hurricane. And it was pretty insightful to be able to respond to a simulated hurricane. And it was really fun, really thrilling, and a great experience overall. I would definitely recommend this program for anyone who is remotely interested in any STEM topics. And they have so many other clusters as well. And I did this in my junior year. My next activity was another online research program called Polygens. So this program is not bad, but I definitely do think Algoverse was a better program than this. So in the program, I was in the program in my 10th and 11th grade. And the main thing I did in the program was develop and enhance a convolutional neural network for melanoma classification. And we also used a logistic regression model for the same purpose, and we compared the results. This paper that I wrote for it was accepted for publication into the Journal of Emerging Investigators, which is a pretty popular high school journal that quite a few people apply for. And yeah, that was my fourth activity. My fifth activity was that I was a co-founder and a co-advisor of our school's recreational badminton club. So a friend and I, we started the recreational badminton club in our school. He was also a really good badminton player, a national level player. And yeah, we essentially started the club from scratch. We increased it to 25 members. We helped lead meetings, we taught skills to kids, and we would also prepare the kids, train them to join the high school team. Eventually, we would have 5 advisors helping us out. So it was really nice to sort of have a small impact on my school and bring badminton, something that I've been doing for so long, into the school. And I did this in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. My next activity was that I co-created a YouTube channel called Math Days. So I created this channel and it has 604, well now it has like 800 subscribers, but at the time it had 604 subscribers. And I produced 7 AP exam review videos generating over 80,000 views. Also, I recruited a friend to help me upload and we've both been working on the channel since. My Common App essay was actually on this channel, and I really like seeing how the stuff I produce has impacts on people studying for exams, because I also used to watch videos to study for exams. My next activity was being the president of our school's National Honor Society. So I was the president in 11th and 12th grade. Well, it was really the end of 11th grade and most of 12th grade. So yeah, I basically led different service projects for our school. So some notable ones, we continued the snack cart from last year. So we sold snacks during a recess that all students had. We also supported local nonprofits with their events, with many people helping them out. And we also helped the younger National Junior Honor Society. We also helped them out with the food drive. And yeah, that was my 7th activity. My 8th activity was being a co-captain of our school's badminton team. So our school's badminton team was our school's first varsity sports team. So it did have a pretty big impact on our school, being a primarily academic focused school, and that showed other kids that, we can play sports too. And some other sports, varsity sports also emerged, like basketball, the next year. So as a co-captain, I helped deliver some speeches before matches. I coached in scrimmages and tournaments, and our team won the Division II North Coast Section Championships. And we brought the first banner to our school, which was pretty fun, pretty nice. Many teachers were also happy, which surprised me. My 9th activity was being a co-founder and co-advisor of our school's Advanced Java Club. With a friend, we created lesson plans and taught a few kids to improve their Java skills or learn Java from scratch. So many of the kids were quite new. It was supposed to be an advanced Java club, but we adapted our teaching style and focused on the basics before showing them some advanced topics. My final activity was being a volunteer at a local nonprofit, Eden Housing. I assisted in their extended learning program. I helped guide these children in art and different activities and help tutor them in math. I also used my connection to this nonprofit to create opportunities for National Honor Society, the club at school which I was the president for volunteering. Now I'm going to go on to my honors and awards. So my first honor was that I was the first author of a research paper that was accepted to EMNLP. EMNLP stands for Empirical Methods in Natural Language Processing, which is a top 2 natural language processing conference. I was the first author of a paper that was accepted to that conference's NLP for Positive Impact workshop. And that was our medical bias project in LLMs that I mentioned earlier. My second honor was being the first author of a research paper that was accepted to NeurIPS, which is the top AI conference. So it was accepted to a workshop in UIUC. And again, it was the same paper, the medical bias in large language models paper that was accepted. My third honor was being the first author of a research abstract that was accepted to the harms and risks of AI in the military workshop. So this was just a small workshop, and I had a research project which I did in collaboration with Beaverworks and Algoverse that was accepted to this workshop. My fourth honor was the Disruptive Engineering Award. So in BWSI, the instructors will choose one person in each cluster to gift an award for showcasing disruptive engineering. And I believe I got this award mainly because of the research project I did by myself, with some help, of course. My fifth honor is being an International Research Olympiad semifinalist. So this is Rishabh Jain's IRO Olympiad, and I scored in the top 150 out of 1,000 applicants and participants from 45 countries. And yeah, those are my stats, ECs, and awards. Again, I can't really tell what got me in until I read my admissions file from Berkeley, which if you guys are interested, I can do that next year. And yeah, also essays were probably a big part. If you are interested in my essays, I can create another video on them. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it shared some insight into the college application process. And to all the future juniors or younger kids, everything will work out in the end, and college is not the end all be all.